Hi, everyone. Boy, I'm a little bit late today. My apologies. I've had such a time with accessing my browser. For some reason, it just didn't want to pop up. I had to shut down, go back up, shut down, go back up. You know how that is. These things are imperfect, but welcome. It is Fun Friday, and I'm so glad to be here. So glad to see people are still joining the Wellness Woman group. I have this lofty goal for our group, and I don't know if it's possible, but I would love to see. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to set the intention, and I'm going to say it publicly, and hopefully, you will see what happens. But I would like this group to go to 20,000. That's my goal. And the only way I can get to 20,000, besides the grace of God, is with your help. So if you know of other women who are getting ready to be 40 or turning 50 or going through the 60s or whatever, who want to get encouragement and inspiration and some information about how to survive the middle age process, please consider sharing with them the Wellness Woman 40 and Beyond group. We have a lot of fun here, and I am so excited to see some of the listings. What I'm going to be doing is actually going in and categorizing more of the postings so that on the right hand side where you see all those different tags of different topics, you can find things to inspire you and motivate you, find things about fitness. Will take me a little while, but bit by bit, I'm going to start categorizing things and put all my Lynnis Minutes together and all the Wellness Journey podcasts together, and all the V.I.B.E Living podcasts. We'll be having a V.I.B.E Living podcast that will be starting in September. And that podcast, I'll tell you the differences. The V.I.B.E Living podcast is a podcast about lifestyle for women over 40. And the Wellness Journey is about wellness, mind, body, spirit wellness for women over 40. And Lynnis Minutes is this right here in the Facebook group. It's a live Facebook where I talk about tips, tools, and techniques that I hope will help you to thrive in just a few minutes. So I wanted to talk today about ways to release stress. And the reason why I'm thinking about this today is that the last 2 weeks have been kind of stressful because of some things that I'm working on in my business. And I wanted to talk to you about some of the teas that I was drinking to try to find the right mix to relax myself. I had to get off the coffee. I normally drink coffee in the morning, but I couldn't even take a cup of coffee because it would just make me jittery, which is unusual. So obviously something was going on with my body chemistry. So I said, okay, I need to make a change. And you know what? Sometimes that happens as we get older, or just in general. Things that we normally would normally drink or whatever, we can't do anymore because it is causing some upset stomach or whatever. And before, a week ago, seemed fine. And that's because your body chemistry has a tendency to fluctuate, especially as you age and the hormones begin to shift and change. And there's some things that used to agree with you that just don't. So I wanted to talk to you about, and I'm sure you know these teas, but I didn't know if you knew that some of these teas might be good for stress and anxiety. The first one is peppermint tea. It's really great because it does relieve anxiety, but it's also a natural muscle relaxant. So if you're feeling stressed out or anxious and you start to get tense and maybe a little bit irritable, peppermint tea might be something that might work for you. I also find that it helps you can lull you into a peaceful sleep. It might be something you might want to drink at night. Or some people don't like to drink it at night because it says it leaves them kind of up, but during the day, it definitely is a good stressor, de-stressor. And I like to try to get dry peppermint leaves and fresh peppermint leaves. You can combine them together, and you just steep them in water and for about 2 minutes. And you drain it and drink it, and it's really good. I know some people like to lace honey or agave or lemon with their peppermint tea. If you can drink it without any of that and just a peppermint tea, that's even the best way to drink it if you can. The other one that some people like to do is lemon balm tea. It's a calming herb, and it belongs to the mint family. So it has a little bit of a lemon minty taste, and it does help reduce cortisol, which relaxes the body without causing drowsiness, and it helps to elevate the mood. Now, cortisol, of course, is what thickens us as we age. We produce more cortisol. That's why, like, literally one day I rolled out of bed and I felt like one day I was one weight, and the next day I rolled out of bed and I was another weight. And I always just say, okay, it must have been the cortisol. I don't know. Our metabolism slows down. And our cortisol goes up. Bad combination. If you have a little bit of stress also, that's even more cortisol. So that's one of the reasons why we begin to gain so much weight. And it seems like the weight we gain from cortisol is a little bit harder to lose than the weight that we gain just from overeating. So lemon balm tea might be the way to go. And the method of preparation is pretty easy. If you can use some dried balm leaves and 2 tablespoons, if you can, of fresh lemon balm leaves. You can bind them together, and you go ahead and about maybe 1 tablespoon altogether, and put it in a cup and strain it and drink it. It's wonderful. And passion flower tea, which is one of my favorites. It's another great herb for stress and anxiety. It helps to increase that hormone that deals with anxiety. And the name of the hormone is not coming to me right now. But one of the reasons why midlife women feel more anxiety maybe than normal, when they might normally, is because of the hormones. So we're always looking for ways to try to get rid of that anxiety and some of that stress. And passion flower is really a great one. It doesn't have an adverse effect if you happen to use it with other sedatives, but you want to be careful with all teas. If you're taking any kind of medication, you want to make sure that you check with your doctor if you're taking any kind of medication, if you're deciding that you want to try some of these herbal teas as well. Same time of method of preparation. Just some dried passion flower in a cup of boiling water and let it steep for about 10 minutes. You can find most of these teas at a health food store, mostly in the dry form. You can also sometimes find them, of course, in the plant form, and you can grow them yourselves. I grow peppermint and mint in my backyard. And boy, I'm telling you, once you start planting them and they get comfortable, they just grow. They look like regular plants. I mean, they just grow. So you can just, get your peppermint seeds and the other kinds of things that you're interested in growing. And you can create an herb garden in your backyard or in your windowsill of your kitchen if you happen to live in an apartment or a confined space. But it's a great way to be able to take some leaves and dry them, and take some fresh leaves and combine them and make your tea. Of course, green tea is great when it comes to anxiety and stress. But green tea does have a lot of caffeine. And so that might kind of not agree with you if you're trying to find something that's not going to make you jittery. But it can help with anxiety and stress. And I've used it before. But if I'm going to drink green tea, then I know I'm not going to drink any coffee. Too much. And just add about a half tablespoon of the powdered leaves in a cup of water, and boil until the leaves settle to the bottom, and strain it and drink it. So that's another one. Rose tea. I've only had rose tea one time, but there are numerous benefits. And the only reason why is because I keep forgetting to get it. Rose tea helps to remedy stress and anxiety as well. It really is good at easing the mind and making it an excellent tea to drink before bed because of the calming effect. See, some of these teas might make you a little sleepy, but like, for instance, like we said before, the green tea doesn't make you sleepy, and the lemon balm doesn't make you sleepy, and neither does the peppermint tea. Those are all teas that you can drink and hopefully won't make you too sleepy or groggy. But the rose tea, it tasted really good, and I just forget to go and get it. Rose tea can be made with dried rose petals or fresh ones, and you just add the rose petals to the boiling water. Now, I don't have any roses. I have a lot of trees and plants around here, but no roses that are growing in my yard. But if you happen to have some roses, you can try this. If you're using fresh rose petals, you wash them thoroughly before adding them to the boiling water, and then you reduce the heat and you let it steep for about 5 to 10 minutes or until the petals turn dark, and you strain before drinking. Okay. You can also get dried rose petals, usually at the health food store. But if you're lucky enough to have some roses in your yard, give it a try. Now, in general, when it comes to these herb teas for stress and anxiety, you don't gulp these teas down, okay? Don't, just take your time, drink the teas slowly. And why not take these teas while doing some stress relieving activities like writing in your graduate journal, or to help keep you focused and positive on positive things while you're writing in the graduate journal, or reward yourself with a nice cup of tea after a few minutes of meditation or after a workout to kind of further the stress relief. So those are the teas that I recommend. I've had all of them before. Boy, that rose tea, I wish I had roses in the front yard. Oh, and of course there's chamomile. I forgot to mention that. Everybody knows about chamomile. Chamomile is a very good tea for anxiety, and it's very relaxing. But if you want to get through the day without getting sleepy, you probably want to do the chamomile tea towards the end of your day so that you're not feeling so sleepy. Oh, I want to do some shout outs. Oh, I see my girl Gerald. Hey, Cheryl. Gerald, who's that? Hey, Cheryl, and Fahiza, Juanita, my junior high school friend. Hey, Juanita, and Chandra, and Alice, and Lori. Hey, Lori, and Leticia. It's so good to see all of you. And I hope for those of you who are in Sacramento area, I hope I get a chance to meet you tomorrow. Oh, and Darlene. Hey, Darlene. I will be at Underground Books talking about the book Power Up Superwoman and discussing my story, and also how to deal with stress and anxiety. I had an interesting conversation yesterday about my book. And I guess when you're writing, your memory goes to what you recall and how you record the events. And sometimes the memory is not always accurate. But what definitely is accurate in my mind is what I went through to get to this point in my life. And I've worked really hard on myself when it comes to dealing with suicidal ideation and depression and anxiety. I had all of that 11 years ago. And when you're going through that kind of thing, your memory isn't always as clear. But I don't have that any longer. I've been blessed. I've been delivered from that. And part of it has to do with the change in my lifestyle, the exercise that I do on an ongoing basis, the kind of foods that I eat, the meditation that I do, and, the things that I tell myself. And I would wish for all of you to be able to get to that point where you're on the path. I don't have it all together. I'm a work in progress. I still got issues, okay? I'm a work in progress, but just as long as you're on the path, you know what I mean? Just as long as you recognize what it is that you have to work on, and then you start moving forward. And there's some great postings that we have today in the group that's been going on all week that I just love. So if you have some time, go down the page and take a look at some of these postings by some of the members of the Wellness Woman group. There's some really great postings that I think can really add value to your life. I'm really excited about some of the things that I'm seeing. I'm excited about people still joining the group. And as I said earlier, if this group is blessing you with good information or inspiration or motivation or whatever it is, please share it with someone who you think would like to join us. This is Wellness Woman 40 Celebration Month, and every day we're posting an affirmation that we hope will give you some inspiration, motivation, and empowerment to thrive in midlife. And when you get a chance, check out my website. We're making some changes, and there's some things on there that might be of interest to you. It's www.wellnesswoman40.com. As me, the website too is a work in progress, but it's not perfect, but we're adding some things, took some things down. We're working on it. Much love to my web guy, Paul Jones. He does a wonderful job. And let me give a shout out to my intern, Frida. She is fantastic. Please, send her warm thoughts and prayers. She, I believe, is a junior and going to New York University in Hofstra, and she's from Mexico, and she had some issues trying to get back into the country in time for school. And she's been working, she's been here on a student visa for the last 3 years, never any problem, and then all of a sudden she had a problem. And I was really concerned about her, but she did make it back. And I will be debuting today a video that she did to help us celebrate who we are as women. And actually, Wellness Woman 40 Celebration Month, it should be every day. Every day we should be celebrating ourselves. You made it over 40, over 50, over 60, that in itself, over 70, over 80. that in itself is a reason to celebrate. I think the oldest member of our group is 87, 88. I'm real happy about that. So exciting things going on. Thanks so much for listening. And I'll pop on tomorrow morning before I go to the book signing. Okay. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.